Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. Looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. On second down, here's Taylor. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. A good pickup there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First carry for their fullback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. On second down, here's Barkley. Skirts by him at the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Yeah, he was the first back taken in the draft. Ended up going number 2 to the Giants, and there was never a doubt that he would be the first runner off the board. We just saw why. His ability with the ball in his hands to turn a nice little gain into something big. He makes plays no matter how you get him the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sheldon Rankins forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Off the play fake, here's Taylor. And he's going to go down again.
I think throughout his rookie year, every time Marcus Davenport makes a play, I'm going to think back to draft night. When New Orleans moved all the way up to 14, and everyone thought they were going to pick a quarterback, and instead they took this defensive end out of UTSA. They gave a love letter to their quarterback, Drew Brees. Better defense means a better offense for the Saints.
Third and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 15. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Oh, and now he bowls him over. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did, and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Ready? You ready? Let. Got it.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And Thomas has it. He won't go down. And all the way down to the 35. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 42 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Ready? You ready?
Breeze now on 1st down. Smith catches left side. 23 yards on the play. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner. Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. A handoff to Barkley. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan. Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son, but they grew up watching Jets games. Just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo. Yes. Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo? Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-men, eluding the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They go play action with Taylor. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there. And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Third and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it. A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead. Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Ready. You ready? 12. 11.
Here's Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Connor Barwin in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Shotgun now for Breeze. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Breeze. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. Back deep, it's Odell Beckham. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Fights off the defender. Still on his feet. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
The give to the fullback on the dive. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
3 down.
Ready. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Taylor. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. 3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack.
Ready. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, Taylor. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for New York. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here's Ginn. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Breeze now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Alec Ogletree able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Ready. You ready? 13. 12. Ready for tackle.
Breeze now to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now Breeze on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alex Okafor. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Ready. You ready?
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On second down, Taylor. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, Taylor. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Got it! 12, 11. 11. Ready to check.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Here we go, here we go. Ready? You ready?
On first down, Breeze. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Thomas. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play. Breeze now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10.
Ready? You ready? Go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. Ready, set.
On second down, here's Breeze. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Olivier Vernon. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. Fourth down. On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So now from a defensive perspective, they might still have a pulse.
Yeah, that probably would have sealed their fate, but now they're still within 2 scores.
First down carry for Barkley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Ready. Flag 32. Flag 32. Slow, slow, slow. Slow, slow, slow.
They'll go to Barkley again, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Slow, slow, slow.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw with Taylor. He's going to look deep down the field. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Giants on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Ready. Flag 32. Flag 32.
Operating from the gun. Taylor. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
21.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
21.
Here's Breeze to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Beckham. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Slow.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
Two jet.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. pushing his way inside the 40. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Slow.
Hey, we got four. We got four down.
Slow.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Play action, it's Taylor. And his throw here is incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman, and it'll bring up third down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Giants on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is third and 17.
Flag, 32. Flag.
Now Taylor. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now in desperation. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Saints, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a...